people categorically. And he says that now we shall stay in this arrangement and we shall have the citizens judge us in 2027. So we have to contextualize when Baba is speaking to the nation and when Baba is speaking to the Orange Democratic Movement's leaders.
Okay.
So when, I think this is just, it's basic dialectics and reasoning, quite literally. If Baba is speaking to his people and giving them direction, because I was there when Baba was doing the consultations. I had just, I had not gone to the United States at the time, but Baba had come back. I think he was in Dubai, but I remember I came and I walked with him and we went to several counties. We did the whole Nyanza tour together. We went to Kisii together. We went to Homa Bay together. We went to Kisumu together. I was there with His Excellency and we were here in Nairobi together. Even, we had actually just come from Addis Ababa. I've just remembered we were just coming from the AUC elections.
Okay.
And he went and he asked Baba Aendele, Amasi Aendele, and he consulted all his people. And they said Aendele. That is when, after that, after a popular agreement from the people who voted, who consistently voted and walked with him, they told him to join the broad-based arrangement. Then Baba joined the broad-based arrangement with the Orange Democratic Movement. He did not join as an individual. That is why sometimes I get very cross. And there's one particular incident where I have to disagree vehemently with the Secretary General of the Orange Democratic Movement. There's a statement that got me very angry in one of my last conversations with His Excellency, just before I went to Brussels. There's this new animal that there's factions that were trying to form themselves in the Orange Democratic Movement, where people, and I've said this without fear of contradiction, but if you think you're a legislator enough, if you think you're man enough, and the Orange Democratic Movement, it seems to be too retrogressive for you, by Jove, resign from the mandate that you are given. But it's not that the Orange Democratic Movement does not welcome criticism from within, but you cannot be sly in the sense that on the one hand you want to speak for the party and for His Excellency, and the other hand speak things that are contrary.
Who are these people?
I'll speak up right now. This disagreement that I'm speaking about was about the Secretary General.
Yes.
And there's a time that I remember they were outside the Serena.
Right.
And he reads out a statement. People had expected that His Excellency, the Prime Minister, would speak first, and then the Secretary General. But he had just done an interview with Yvonne Okwara. Then the next couple of days, he came and read a statement. And I think he read a faulty statement. And because my Secretary General is a sharp man, I fault him because he read a misleading statement to the country. Because he went ahead and read a statement that said, we therefore agree with Raila Odinga's position in supporting the broad-based government. He is not the spokesperson, has never been the spokesperson of the Chief of the Golden Heart, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. He is the spokesperson of the Orange Democratic Movement.
But Baba
he spoke and said that he agrees with Raila Odinga's position. That was a typo because it insinuates that only Raila Odinga, His Excellency, was in the broad-based arrangement. Mzee left us here in the broad-based arrangement with very clear directives that these are the 10 points that need to be achieved.
Don't you think it was necessary for Mzee to have come out to say that what Sifuna says is not my position?
But
which he never, in most cases,
but
he never disputed what Sifuna said.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. This comes after Mzee had spoken.
This comes after
Mzee had said, when Sifuna speaks for the party.
Right.
And I'm basing my words off of what Mzee had said, that Sifuna speaks for the party. Why then would he throw our party leader under the bus? It's a very slight thing, but I think it's a dog whistle. That's why I keep on saying that Mzee, he died in an unfortunate circumstance where now everybody wants to pretend that they were working with him. Our legislators let His Excellency suffer shame. They were not speaking about him. I was the one running around like a headless chicken, running around with no mandate. But I'm very grateful that I got that mentorship. That's why I keep on saying, all these people who are pretending, they used their proxies. It is their bloggers who killed Mzee, in quotes. And I say this, they killed him before it was his time. They spread misinformation. And then now they're pretending they loved Baba, but they could not hold their dogs.
So what is it like in the party right now? Because everyone is speculating, everyone's saying that, you know, it's the end of ODM. Everyone's saying that perhaps, you know, it's over and done. Raila was ODM and ODM was Raila, and therefore it is time for people to figure out what next. Would you categorically tell us what the situation is like? Because we're still talking about the Secretary General who stands to be the Secretary General. And his utterances do not show a Secretary General who literally agrees to the fact that the ODM party is part and parcel of the broad-based government.
The Orange Democratic Movement is in the broad-based government. It is in that broad-based arrangement to stay until the party resolves otherwise. One individual cannot come and tell us. Even the party leader subjected himself to party processes. He did not just go and sign, the Premier did not go and sign a random agreement with Dr. William Ruto. He went and consulted the people. So anyone who thinks they will sabotage this broad-based arrangement is in for a rude shock. Two, I need to remind Kenyans that the Orange Democratic Movement is the most compliant political party in the country. With all the standards of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, there's no party that comes close in terms of compliance in the Orange Democratic Movement. People have been saying the ODM is dead. For the past 20 years, we are celebrating in a Yambori ODM at 20. We are also in a period of elections. So anyone who thinks that they can misbehave in the party, the people will decide who their next party leader is. They will decide who their next chairperson is, decide who their next secretary general is. They'll decide who their next leaders are because we're in a period of elections. So,
let me ask this question. Will you support President William Ruto if he were to seek re-election and in ODM?
I think we're jumping the gun before we get to that. We need to give it a bit more context.
We also have very little time.
Yes.
And therefore we have to make it tight.
So in terms of, if you're thinking about the party, because
then we're talking broad-based.
Yes. You've asked about the party specifically.
Right.
Currently, as things stand, we have lost a pillar, but we have not been left as orphans. And I say this, and I'll repeat it, that the current resolution that was passed on the day that just the day before Mzee landed, that Dr. Oburu Oginga should become the acting party leader, I think he has shown us that he is devoted. He's been devoted to his brother his entire life. They have fought political battles together, and they consulted, and we worked together with also Dr. Oburu Oginga. So I think the National Delegates Convention should confirm him as party leader, because he's one of the most stable politicians I have seen in the Orange Democratic Movement.
Will it not risk a scenario where people say that this is a family affair again?
But is Dr. Oburu, yes, he is the brother of the late Chief of Golden Heart, but he was not appointed as the acting party leader. The party organ sat, but because people do not see the workings, and people only want to pay attention to the Orange Democratic Movement when it's time to scandalize it. The whole management committee sat down and passed a resolution. So if you think that it's not this is a family agenda, and you think that you have a better idea, present it to the people, bring it to us, the masses, and tell us this is why you think you will be a better party leader. But this one where people want to sabotage the party, that will not work. Because the party is firm, and I've said without fear of contradiction that we remain in this broad-based arrangement. And people will say that it is praise and worship. They will say, and I would want to speak to some of the people who stood for the party boldly. And that includes both sides. There are people who side on the Democratic side and the people who side on the larger betterment and the welfarist side. And I've seen a lot of them being called members of the praise and worship choir. I want to speak to all those party organs. There's people like my chairperson who's fought really hard. In very difficult times, Governor Wanga has done to run around and do a lot for the party while also dispensing her other duties. Akina Junet, Akina Simbarati, Akina Abdul Swamad, all those people, Akina Rene, those people. My message is, regardless of whether we are being called praise and worship, if that is going to bring roads to our marginalized areas, let the choir sing louder. If that is going to bring better and more stable healthcare to our people, let us sing louder. If it is going to bring better education to our younger siblings and our children, let the choir sing louder. If it is going to ensure that we have justice for victims of protests, let the choir sing louder. If this will ensure that our Premier, our Chief of the Golden Heart, gets all the respect he is due as a private citizen, let the choir sing louder.
And you see, this is going to be very interesting, because right now where ODM is left, it is now open to such kind of conversations, because you can just even look at, from the moment Raila Odinga was laid to rest, the conversations all around the media stations, especially in the politics right now, it is about ODM and what is the future of ODM. And you've really seen the conversation is all about who is the king, who is going to be the king, what is happening to the leaders who are left as orphans in the ODM. So this is the time that even the voices like Kasmuel would actually try to devise means of standing out. It is very, very much understandable. If you look at